Good morning, everybody, and happy December. We're in a brand new month, a few days in. I'm here to do your card reading. It is the last card reading of 2022, and I guess for a while, just depending on how we decide to change things, it's the last card reading um, for sister mediums in doing it this way. We still want to bring you, sorry, I'm just grabbing something. We still want to bring you guidance and messages and some sort of monthly healing or energy exchange or service. We're just changing the way that we do it, and we won't always be doing it like this. It might be lives, it might be questions and topics. I really don't know. We haven't quite sat down to hammer it down. But this way, it's been I want to say 3 years easily, 4 years that we've been doing it like this. So we're just going to change it up a bit. Self-care is at the forefront, and it's been a very busy month in here with speaking to people about the things that they're going through, making time for self care. And I thought, what better way to kick off December's card reading than with a self care deck? Lots of special messages coming to you this month, and I'm not wasting any time here. Flow like water. This has been so hard for people this month to just ebb and flow with what's coming naturally. I'm hearing that people are wanting to put their foot down, and yes, you should where you need to. There are certain situations that we can't control. There are certain circumstances that we can't resist getting involved in or changing the outcome. But going with the flow, the message here is just the day to day things, trying to be less controlling of things, trying to seek the outcome of things, and just letting what happens naturally. Whether that has to do with relationship, whether that has to do with job and career, whether that has to do with friendships and people around you, let the course of things happen as they should. Water also represents the direction east, and east represents our fears. And sometimes that has to do with wanting to control or change things because we're fearful of the way that they might naturally flow in life. Okay, so quick little message for you there. Connecting with the earth. Okay, I've never pulled this card out of this deck before, so it's new for me, but I absolutely love it. If you've seen me at all in the last, I want to say, year, guys, my message to everyone has been grounding, 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 grounding. If you are not grounded in the earth and if you are not grounded in Pachamama, that is part one of the complications you're having with why things are not maybe working out the way you need them to, or you feeling off. Okay, the more connected we are to the earth and our surroundings and what's happening around us, the better we feel. And isn't it interesting that this card is all about like wood, nature? And I've never done this before, but I thought, oh, why not end 2022 with a cleanse? So I grabbed a lighter and I grabbed Palo Santo, and I'm fully going to do a virtual cleanse here when we're done. But very, very interesting to connect to the earth. A lot of people ask, how? How do I do this? Number one, you can get outside barefoot. You can spend time in a forest, literally hug a tree. Um, you can sit out by a bench and look at the water. These are some of the best ways to get grounded. When I say look out at the water, staring at the water for 15 to 20 minutes has such healing effects. So, getting out in nature is really just stepping outside of your comfort zone. If you can't get barefoot right now because it's winter, I understand that. Like it's cold out there, try soaking in a bath. I'm notorious for like a spa bath at night, and it's just to relax. It has nothing to do with not showering. I love to just soak in a tub. But when I'm in the tub, it's Himalayan salts, it's Epsom salts, it's eucalyptus and lavender. You're really just immersing yourselves in the elements of nature and what's around you. Okay, so I wanted to start off with those two cards. We are going to go right into the Angels, Gods, and Goddesses deck. And I'm sure it's a busy time for you guys. And, Christmas is coming, 22 some odd days. Yeah, today's the third of the month. So 22 days to get ourselves together here. But hopefully you'll find some time. If it's not now, it's later. We always say trust that when you land on a card, it doesn't matter what time of the year the card is, that it's meant for you. So, right here, angel of strength, stand up for what you believe in, gain respect, and hold your ground. Okay, so right here, this is telling me that someone's sucking something up, sitting in the back seat or taking a back seat to a situation and saying, oh, I've got to bite my tongue on this one. If you're really feeling firmly or you're really feeling strongly about a certain thing, stand up for yourself, for your beliefs, for your rights, for what you truly need to voice for yourself. I'm feeling that this is family related, relationship related. And this might just be one of those uh, situations where you are not in agreement of what other people think, or you're not in agreement of what others may or may not want to do. And so you don't want to cause friction and you don't want to cause tension. But the card is saying, like, don't compromise who you are, just to shut other people up or to be in that state where I've stood my ground enough, and I've also sacrificed and stood back enough. Now it's time for me to say what I need to say. And I think that this is, it's good for you. It's good for your throat chakra. It's good for your heart chakra. It's good for your solar plexus chakra to just get that out there and not be holding on to the things again that weigh us down. We're always asked, why do we need grounding? Why do we need to lift our spirits? Well, the stuff like this is why. When we're not standing our ground and we're letting people either make decisions for us or make decisions in and around us that are not in line with what we want, the resentment builds up, the animosity builds up. Okay, so um, a very strong message here from the angel of strength, the goddess of strength, to stand your ground. You're strong enough to go through what you need to go through here. um, Absolutely loving this card for the end of the year. Beautiful imagery in this. People ask, what decks are we using? Happy to share this one. It's Angels, Gods, and Goddesses by Tony Salerno. um, Really, really beautiful. This is the angel of new life. An exciting new chapter is about to unfold. This is the news that everybody has been waiting to hear, okay? That the hard times are behind us, that the negativity is behind us, that the feeling stuck is behind us. And I really and truly say this because I do feel a shift is coming. I do feel that change is on the horizon, but it starts with you. And that's no secret. If you want things to change, you need to enforce this. You need to ignite these passions. You need to do your research into what it is that you want to change. Be happy with what you have. And if you're not happy with that, you got to get out there and you got to change it. When we say new life is embarking, this goes for careers. If you're not happy in your job, only you know this. Only you can change what it is that you're doing versus what it is that you want. If this is about relationships and you're not happy in your relationship, only you can change that. Whether it's talking to your partner and getting that spark back and trying new things, or whether it's you realizing, hey, we've been in a compromising relationship now for a while where we're just unhappy. It's toxic, it's volatile, it's just dead energy. We've exhausted each other. Only you know that. If this is the woman out there or male out there or family out there who's been like trying so hard to obtain a child, understand that new life is coming. Okay, it might not be in the form of a typical birth. It might be something where you have to step outside the box. Hey, we're talking about fur babies too. How many of you have wanted an animal in your life and that has not come yet? So there's different ways and different perspectives. Not everything is black and white, and it's up to us to interpret it and to look at it and see where that fits into our lives. Okay, so those two cards already, and those two cards already, loving that. I am going to go to the Gateway, which is one of my favorites, and we'll get into something a little bit more intricate. And this is a great deck because it's to the point. There's no messing around here. What the card says is what the card says. And sometimes it's not about beating around the bush, and it's just about giving the message. So let's get to it. Breaking barriers, guys. This is about getting out of your comfort zone, expanding beyond your limitations, really challenging yourself. Enough with the I can't, I can't, I can't. I can. Okay. Start somewhere. As long as you start, the steps will follow. Okay, you can do your research for as long as you want. You can say, I'm putting something into motion for as long as you want. You can say, I have a plan. Guess what? Things change. There's always something that is either going to interrupt that or challenge you or push you beyond your limits. And this is saying, break those barriers. Start saying, I can, and set your goals. Someone once told me, don't work towards what you want, work backwards from the ultimate goal. What do you have to do to get to the ultimate goal? Okay. And visualize that you already have it. If you're constantly visualizing, for example, like, I'm broke, I'm debt, I have no money this month, the chances of money pouring in are going to be a lot slimmer than if you're walking around with the attitude of, my bank account is becoming full, abundance is coming to me, money is on its way. There's just different ways of looking at things and perceiving things, and I think that that's all part of it, is breaking the barriers between what we want, what we say, and how we put it into motion. Healing the past, guys, this is huge. This comes up all the time. And, I'm just going to put it out there. I've had so many people say, wow, how do you make it look so easy? How do you juggle everything? You must not have been through or gone through what I've gone through in my life. And I can tell you hands down, Daniela and I have probably been through more in our 40 something years together, each separately, than most people have been through in a lifetime. And I'm talking about, like, yes, grief, family loss, death, divorce, um, just trauma, murder, suicide. Like, we've been through a lot. And so we're also taking experiences from all the things that we've learned from ourselves to be able to help people. And it's no overnight fix. The work is constantly being addressed. The work is constantly being delved into. And part of healing your past is opening up those wounds. So the people who say, oh, that happened such a long time ago. Yeah, all it takes is one trigger. And that one trigger brings that memory, that emotion, that feeling, that trauma. And the next thing you know, you're caught in this spiral again of, well, why do I keep thinking that? Am I reliving that in my life? There's a reason why. Healing your past really has to do with bringing your emotions to the forefront, taking ownership for who was involved, what happened, why it happened. See if there was any part in that that was your responsibility, or can you take account for it? And if you can't, you can't. I'm not talking about children here being abused and saying, oh, that was my fault. No, 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 no. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if there are traumas or parts of your life that have happened with other people, and you have the adult like mind and capacity to have understood your role in it, to bring that to the forefront. Okay. Make amends with people. If you can't physically pick up the phone or don't want to physically pick up the phone, there are other modalities to do this. You can heal the past through journaling. You can heal the past through meditation. You can heal the past through going and visiting a sacred place or a sacred site, or where those events took place, and literally standing that ground and meditating on or within that ground. Um, the first step for this is bringing it all to the forefront. Great book that we both recommend, promote all the time, by Dr. Nicole LaPera, How to Do the Work. And it's not an easy book, but she takes you through chapter to chapter to chapter about the hard times in your life and bringing those hard times to the surface. So that is definitely something that you can use and you can work on. And healing the past is also, again, understanding that those situations happened to you. Those situations are a part of your family and your family's grief and your family's trauma, but it doesn't mean that we can't get past them. And I promise you, with all that I have, that you are strong enough to get through those experiences. And when you do get through them, you'll understand that there are lessons in why. Sometimes the people that hurt us the most are the ones that we are sad to say bye to, but they're the ones that we don't need anymore. They were there with us at a certain time to serve a certain thing, and they're no longer with us for a reason. Okay. So sometimes those blessings happen and we don't even realize it. I read something last week. I shared it with the clients that I had in here for the week. Trauma happens to us. Trauma does not hold on to us. It's us who hold on to trauma. And I couldn't have agreed more with that. It's I had to read it 2 or 3 times. It was hard for me at first to process that, but it was the truth. And I thought, yeah, you're right. It's up to us to do the work and understand that doing the work and us facing this, it's not just for us, it's for the generations to come. If you grew up without a mother or you grew up without a father, chances are that they grew up whether it's literally or figuratively, without that role model in their lives either. And so the way that they were was a reflection of the way that they were raised. They maybe not have had the capacity to raise you in the same way. And we can hold on to that and say, well, I don't know better, or I feel this way because of a lack of, or we can turn around and say, let me find compassion and sympathy, a little bit of it, to understand why I was treated this way or lack thereof, and what can I do to change that for my children and their children and their children. And there's a beautiful blessing in that when we can turn around and see what's taking place in front of us and the lineage to come. I haven't pulled this deck out in a while, and it's interesting that this is what's coming up. Certain people that are watching this will say no coincidence here. It's the Jaguar. Okay. No secret, I'm huge into shamanic work. 14 years ago, I started that shamanic journey and put it on hold when I had, my family, my children, and that sort of thing. I have delved full force back into this. I'm in the middle of some very heavy studies right now with shamanic work, shamanic training and certification. And we are working this month in the direction of the Jaguar. So very interesting that she is showing up. um, Jaguar is here to confront your fears. Jaguar is present. Okay, she's a female energy, so she is your female energy. She is here to protect you. Okay, when fear is brought to the forefront, when we're fearful of things, we need that reassurance that we're not going through them alone, that things are going to be okay. That is when you call on the medicine of Jaguar. Jaguar also represents the direction west, not just our fears, but she also represents the water element. And again, just bringing yourselves back to nature, grounding yourselves again. So I would urge you to all, within this month, play along with me and confront your fears and call on Jaguar to help you either work through those fears or diminish those fears. Incredible card, and thank you. So that was also a call for me. If we go back to some of these original cards that we picked, breaking barriers, we are stronger than we think. We have more in us than we can even imagine. And part of that is bringing it all to the surface, like rebirth, new birth. It's time. But I'm here to tell you that I'm a prime example. 14 years into my healing journey, 14 years into this mediumship, 14 years into Reiki work, Reiki master work, 14 years into shamanic work. Guys, we're still doing it. We're still sitting with trainers and teachers and shamans and mystics, and we're still learning. The work never stops. It depends on, I guess, how much you want to learn. And then there's the spiral. Guys, this is all about where we're caught up in our world right now. Okay, this downward spiral. And sometimes we feel like things are spinning out of control, like the spin cycle of the washing machine. Things are happening too quickly. It's up to us to really slow that down and recognize where we are in the wheel of spiral. Also in the wheel of entanglement. Where are we feeling stuck? How can we break out of this cycle? Just take a step back. This is a very quick message to stop, step back, reassess, and then start again. Okay, this way we're not feeling like we're spinning out of control and that too much is happening in front of us that we cannot navigate. Okay. And the last one I'm going to pull in this card, the witness. Guys, you are witnessing beautiful things happening all around you. You are witnessing changes within yourself. You're witnessing changes within your work habits, changes within your relationships, changes at home with your children. Okay. This is also a great time to coincide with this card. Step back a bit, be the witness, talk less, listen more. Don't get as involved as you would normally. Let things happen in front of you and just be back and look out in the background here. Also being witness to the small steps in our lives. Sometimes we expect huge changes to come and we don't give ourselves enough of a pat on the back for the little changes. Okay. Little changes, like if you're just putting it out there, let's say you're on a weight loss journey and this month has only been 5 pounds. Do you even realize that 5 pounds is like 5 blocks of butter? Like that's a lot. So you might be thinking, oh my God, I'm witnessing this journey of mine, but I wish it were quicker. You're still quicker than most people. You're still quicker than what was happening the month before or the month before that. And if I can reach this, I'm gonna put something into perspective, okay? Um, Here we go. Number one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Here we go. I just pulled these babies out and we're getting ready to put them out on the floor. Ametrine, guys, this is 5 pounds. Okay, this is a lot. This is 5 pounds off your body if that's what we're talking about. So I want you to not be hard on yourselves. I want you to be more of a witness to what's happening, what changes, what transitions are taking place in your life, and let's celebrate them. Okay. What do I want to go with next? I think we're gonna go with, okay, I cannot not use Angel Gabriel here. Gabriel has to say there's we're sitting at 20 minutes. Okay, we're good. There's also something new that I want to talk about. Very exciting, but this flew out. It's the comfort card. Angel Azrael, I'm with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal. Okay, grief, loss, heartbreak, you're not alone. Okay. Call on Angel Azrael. Angel Azrael is the angel that sits with your guardians, guides, and loved ones. And you might be feeling that loss of a loved one, especially around the Christmas holidays. This might be a time for you where you're not wanting to put up a Christmas tree, where you're not wanting to celebrate, where you're not wanting to pick up old traditions. It might just be the overall loss of, I don't have that person with us anymore. And this card is just coming to you saying, hey, you're being comforted. I don't want to talk more about this because there's a specific reason. I don't know if you guys follow Carm. Her Instagram handle is Girls Gotta Heal. She's an incredible woman. Lots of insight, lots of guidance on her page, all about like healing, encouragement, empowerment. Her journey started with the loss of her dad. And she's just amazing. Daniela and I have both read her. She came in here yesterday to gift us with her new deck of cards, and it's connecting through grief. And so of course I opened them up right away and I wanted to look at them, and we were talking, and as we're talking I'm going through the deck saying, oh my god, that's a great one, and that's a great one, and that's a great one. And I mean, there are directions on how to use her deck specifically, but the premise behind it is to have those heartfelt conversations. Okay. And I'm just going to use this because we're talking about the grief anyways. So I'm going to put this out there, and Carm, here's your work. Let's go with this one. What is something you wish most people knew about grief ahead of time? So, these are the conversations that you're supposed to be having with your family members. Um, and maybe this will help the next person, or maybe this will help someone in your life that's going through this, or preparing for this loss, or preparing for this transition of their family member. Okay, to sit and have those questions talked about. There's also, what piece of advice would you give someone who's just experienced a significant loss at this time? Um, what is something you can give back to yourself that you feel you've lost since that person's passing? What are you missing the most about your loved one right now? When was the last time you were genuinely happy? There were a few here yesterday that I read that I just resonated so much with. This was one of them. Yes, of course, like, do you believe in signs? What's your favorite sign to receive from spirit? And, I loved that. I loved this card, and I told Carm this, what or who makes you feel the safest. And of course, these are hard conversations, but they are about grief. And I just thought I'd plug her and share this with you guys because we were talking about the Archangel Razrael, who is here to comfort you at this time. So these are available through her website. You can also reach out on Instagram, and crossing my fingers, I'm actually hoping that maybe we'll be carrying these in the studio soon because they really resonate with us and with the work that we do. I'm going to prompt you here with a card from the new deck that I've been using a lot lately. I love this one. It's the Unshakable Inner Peace and Guidance deck, and I've talked about this even last month. I love this deck. I'm going to pull that one because it fell out, and I will grab another one. Um, I love this deck because it prompts you with a question, and I love when you can read an affirmation card or an angel card or an oracle card, and then there's a question that follows up. It just gets your brain going, and it gets you connecting to the card a little bit more. So this one is Rise Above It All. It is not yours to carry. You are an empath. How can you detach from the drama? Incredible. You know, we hear stories, we want to support people, we're part of things that are taking place and shape shifting around us, yet some people don't know how to detach from that. And it's awesome to say to our friends and our families, I'm here to support you, or I'm here to listen, but you don't have to take that on. It doesn't mean that it's part of your circle, that it's part of your energy, that it's part of what's happening with you right now. So we need to learn to cut cords with that. We need to learn to walk away. We need to learn to say, I can listen to you, but I'm not holding on or taking on to that. And that's a good question. How can you detach from the drama? Maybe it's putting your foot down and stepping away from certain relationships and friendships. Um, Maybe it's really like, I can't hear this anymore. And I'm going to be honest with you. I did this about 2 months ago with someone. You know, it's a conversation, it's a conversation, but every time there's this conversation, there's this one thing that keeps coming up. And it's not just that it's judgmental, it's hard to hear and not hard for me to hear. It's the repetitiveness that this person is still stuck in such a state of, I got to harp on the same thing over and over. And I literally put my foot down and said, I don't want to hear it. Like, I'm not here to hear that every time we have a conversation. It doesn't have anything to do with me. And I'm here to support you, but it's also so negative. I really think that it would be better for you if you stood back from it a little bit. And you know what? That's helped on all in all areas. Okay, the next card I've pulled from here, oneness is the way. How can you show compassion and acceptance towards those you don't understand? And I love this card coinciding with that one too. How can you show acceptance? Well, you can listen to a certain extent, you can support to a certain extent, you can be there to validate what others are going through and who is part of their circle, but you have to also put boundaries in place. If you are hanging around or there is energy of someone around you that is not resonating in line with what your beliefs are, with what your feelings are, with what you feel, speak up. Say it. I'm not sure what this energy is right now, but it's not in alignment with me and what I want or how I feel. Step back. Okay? We're all afraid to step back. And I'm not saying, you know, you've got to cut people off left, right, and center, but if someone is not serving you, don't pick up the phone when they call every single time. Don't feel like you have to go out for dinner once a month or invite them over once a month. People can be within your circle and still not be in your face 24/7. Okay. And that's the boundaries are lessons for us to learn. Um, and I really want to leave you with that is I hope that 2023 is a year where you're doing more of what you want to do and less of what others want you to do. And it doesn't mean that you have to be um, a biatch about it. It doesn't mean that you have to put your foot down and break relationships. It means that you're honing in on your true alignments. You're honing in on what your body, your spirit, your source is calling you back to. And it means that you're investing in the things that make you happy versus the things that make other people happy. Okay. And I think that we would truly be so much more happier, grounded, for sure, if we spent a little bit more time investing in ourselves. Um, and then we'd be okay giving to others at that capacity if you feel like you need to. But really and truly, let's all be a little bit kinder to ourselves first. Okay. That's what I'm leaving you with is kindness. It's kind of been my motto. Keep your eyes on your targeted intention. Please don't lose sight of what your passions are. Please don't lose sight of the things that you want in life. You know, nothing is too far out of this realm to be obtained. You can do it. You're strong enough to do it. I'm going to read you the little prayer on here, and then we're going to end off with a bit of a smudge. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for helping me focus on my inner visions and my intentions. I ask for your guidance in releasing any fears or doubts, granting me the confidence and courage to take action towards realizing my dreams. Dreams for your family, dreams for your partner, dreams for a home, dreams for a getaway, dreams for money, health, dreams for our parents, our loved ones, those in spirit, those that we've lost. Intention is everything. And if you can set out the intention that you have gift to share and want to, you will share it. if you have the intentions that next year is going to be a fantastic year, you're going to be on a health or soul journey, you're going to do it. It's all about the intention and making the time. Don't just say it, make it happen. And with that, I'm leaving you all with love, with blessings, with gratitude. Palo Santo, for those who don't know it, is tree. It's a holy tree. It's cut down in Ecuador. 10 years after the tree's been dead is when they harvest them. It's what cueros and shamans use in healing. I particularly use Palo Santo personally every day. I cleanse my energy, I cleanse my aura with it, I keep it in my purse, it does not leave my side, and it is a great way to bring yourself back to Mother Earth. It is a great way to cleanse, to clear negative energies. And my wish for you is that 2023 is a year of steadfast abundance, that blessings continue to come your way, that we find strength to get through hardships, that there's healing where there's suffering, that there is joy where there is pain, that there is love where there is loss. And for 2022 to have brought some important lessons to people, and just gratitude for those who harnessed 2023 by the reins and said, I am done with the holdback and I am plunging forward. I applaud you, and I leave you with that. So I can't say that we'll see you next month for sure, because I don't know what's going to happen. But in all of this, thank you for watching. Thank you for your loyalty, for always commenting, for supporting Sister Mediums and all of the readings that we've done. And hey, don't forget, it doesn't mean that you can't go back and watch a past reading from another month, because it still might resonate with you. But I know that this is not goodbye. We will be back with something bigger and better as always. Blessings on blessings, everybody. Have a Merry Christmas, a wonderful month, a safe month. Bye.